This broadcast of As the Wasteland Burns was brought to you by Galaxy News Radio and our sponsors at Voltec. Better living underground with butt plugs.
Hey. Rude.
Yeah,
Are you missing
That
your butt
didn't-
plug?
yeah, that didn't pass for me.
Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of As the Wasteland Burns.
Feel very unsatisfied.
Me too.
Okay, fine.
No, it's
Now
already
with-
ruined.
Oh, I
Okay.
feel bad.
Moving on.
Or you keep your butt plug. Everybody else will be okay without it right now.
Okay.
Your butt plug to yourself. Warpy.
Your emotional support butt plug.
Yes, it's made of Legos.
Anyway,
Nobody knows how to react to that.
it's like it. Yeah, I can't top that right now. No.
He already broke Phoenix. We're like 1 minute in. He's speechless.
I
A good game.
can't take that to the next level. The group had made an agreement with Joe and his council, Dr. Abernathy, and in exchange for taking the people in that were located in Nattyville, the survivors of Mew Mew Mew, and the Wastelanders that were there too, they would provide some, resources to the, community, but they would also try to find the cargo that was promised them. That the vault was promised back before the war began. In over 200 years since that happened, so they may not be able to live up to that expectation, if you will. But anything is possible in the wasteland. So,
Yeah, right. You can find pristine suits of power armor if you know where to look.
yeah. The group has loaded back up, gathered their supplies. Some medical supplies were transferred to the group in exchange, and they begin to trek back. When you leave and head out of the annex and head across to get onto the road back to the FUD store, you notice that the circus has moved on. That particular group is no longer there. A small group of settlers, wastelanders that you had spoken with, spent time with, is there. Their numbers have changed. You see, there's a few less than there were before. The other super mutant group is still there, camped out.
Goldilocks and the three.
Yep.
Stooges.
Yep. Exactly. Do you stop and see their group before continuing on, or are we heading right to the FUD store?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop and say,
Oh, you're going to say hi to your girlfriend?
He's gone.
well, not
Yeah.
is
She was part of the circus, right?
She was the ringleader.
She was
Oh.
the ringleader.
I mean, you said she was freaky, so I'm assuming she was part of the circus.
Oh, all right. Then I have no interest.
Okay. So, continuing on the road back to the FUD store, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. The weather is nice. The area here, I wasn't going to change the map. The area here is actually greened out quite a bit. There are the Deathland daisies, Wasteland daisies growing up all over the place. The flowers that Sally Sue you kind of like to pick and play with. Miss Gray, make me perception survival rolls, measurement rolls.
Just one.
Two. One more, please.
Oh.
Okay. So, pull up the. You guys can, without having to make the roll, you can go through the canned food that you got from the FUD store when you left. Unless you wish to make rolls and rely somebody other.
I'm assuming that the canned food has a longer shelf life,
Uh,
or is it about the same?
it's about the same.
It doesn't really matter.
Right, but the other ones will give you. You'll use up the bonuses that they may. Remember, there's no negatives left in the
Oh,
food.
right. So in the canned food is just straight food.
Just straight food. Yep.
Might be better to use that then.
Everyone in agreement, or
Yes.
Sure.
figure that out. You guys arrive at the FUD store.
So that's a day of canned food less. Okay.
Yeah, 6 days. Yeah.
We had 6 days before, so are we on 5 days now, or
Oh no, it took.
are
Don't
we on
forget,
6 days?
it was 2 weeks to get from Addyville to Bendy. You
Venetti, yeah.
So you've
We
used up maybe like
a
3
bit of
days.
food to get to the FUD store. Yeah. And
Yeah,
I'm
see-
trying to remember how much food we had originally
Well, so you
when
got
we
so
were that we got at the FUD store.
6 days. 6 days for the entire group is what she could provide you.
Okay.
6 days. 6 days total, which was. Well, sorry, 6 days left after you guys were at the. 6 days total is what she could provide you from the FUD store. It took 3 days to get to Vendy and then into the annex. You didn't have to use. You
Right.
ate whatever they had there. So you used up 3 days of
Right.
canned food.
And now to see if Steph has managed to not off a limb or fingers or toes or something.
Correct. Remember, if you find an eyeball, you win a prize. So.
Well, no, Sam is regretting handing a very sharp weapon to a small child.
I do remember.
Yeah.
So, sign still hangs out front. You can see that the front door is open, curtains blowing in the breeze. You're able to tie the Brahmin up out front also. And before you're able to react, Snake, you catch a blur out of the corner of your eye as something small and excited slams into you. You're back.
I look for C2. What the hell?
C2 sitting on top of a Good and Plenty, kind of looking around. And he kind of rolls back over and sunning himself.
Do I need to draw my axe?
That's the kid.
The kid.
Yeah, really.
I put my hand on it anyway, just in case.
What, the kid?
No, not the kid. No.
I need to threaten the kid.
I know you come back. She's doing her best to hug you and try to lift you off the ground. You can tell she keeps this up. She's probably going to pop an O-ring.
And I say, have you seen any more Grognak?
No, none of the merchants have come through. I haven't seen anybody since you got.
Oh, it's been quiet. Well, I suppose that's good.
Yeah. But it's nice to see other people and talk to them. Mama gets lonely sometimes. But I've been
When she
practicing.
mentions the merchants, I glance over at Sally Sue and I'm wondering.
I wave.
Well, if you're wondering if Sally Sue is going to wave, you don't have to wonder
Actually, the
anymore.
economy of Lacaville.
So,
And that is the major trade hub in the region.
he did crash the local economy at the one place, yes. So,
Yes, and that is a major trade hub for this
You'll be fine.
region. I'm sure they'll be fine in the long run, but in the short term,
The girl kind of, tried to, she's tugging on her arm. Come on, I'll show you. I've been practicing.
well, it looks like Snake's going to be entertained for the near future at the very least.
Practicing what?
The axe you gave me.
Oh, what have you been practicing?
She does one of those, shakes her head, looks at you, and kind of just, come on. Head starts heading out back.
I sigh heavily, and I follow.
It's good for you.
So the other four of you, along with C2, are kind of yes, Sam. She has both legs, and you notice she had all 10 fingers and 3 arms, so she's perfectly fine.
Great, as long as she has the third arm still.
So, while Snake is going to entertain at the tea party, what are the rest of you doing?
We should probably pop in, say hello, and see if we can for more food.
Okay, you go in. The mother is there. She's sleeping. She looks up and she's like, "Oh, well, good to see you back. I'm glad you were able to come back this way. Haven't had anybody through since you guys, so."
I wave.
He waves back. Please. Excuse me. Please take a seat, and I'll get you some water, and and see, you're here to trade, pick up more food, grab a meal.
All of the above.
Okay. And I take it since the Grognak band is not here, my daughter has probably already roped him into seeing what she's done in the back.
Definitely.
Is her tone upset with us? Can we tell by her tone if she's upset with us over the axe?
She is come to terms would be the best way to describe.
Okay, lovely.
Resigned. There you go. Resigned is better.
Okay. Wanted to be sure.
Yeah. Let me get you settled, a little food in your stomach, and then if you guys want to go take a look out back too, that's perfectly fine. She leaves. You guys find a table to sit down at. She brings out some order to with 2 yellows and a green and a red cup plates. No bread. Haven't had a chance to get any stuff milled for it, but I do have plenty of radroach stew, fresh batch just made today, and I promised you canned food. We'll see what we can come up with when we're done here. Yep. You're led by the hand around back. You're just you're like, oh God, by the gods, why am I here? Type of deal, Snake, and may or may not be mildly surprised when you step around, but you can see that there are a variety of pieces of wood and metal plates and ropes set up almost like an obstacle course. Barrels and bars that swing back and forth. Nothing has any spikes that could hurt somebody, but you can see that there are some arms that if the plate on one side's whacked, the arm will spin the other way, type of deal. You can see there's plenty of various radroach bits also scattered about.
It's like an obstacle course, or more like a workout gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I haven't killed anybody today, so I'll at least partake in some of that.
Okay. And she goes over and she has she opens up a oddly shaped like a long, narrow neck, and the bottom is like shaped like a bell. He opens up the case, and inside is laying on some cloth is the axe, and she takes it out, and she holds up a finger, and she's like, wait. Goes over to, and you can see she has on a flat piece of metal tacked out.
Like
Panels.
a armor plate?
No, like a storyboard.
Oh, okay.
So, and she has tacked out on the thing various pages from the Grognak comics.
Oh, okay.
And she you can see, and it takes a moment as you're looking. You have to squint and kind of close one eye, and your imagination heavily. But she's set up fight scenes to a point from the comics as her training ground. So
Okay.
one of them has Grognak fighting off of two of the blue wizard henchmen, along with the man beast, and that's like one of them. And there's one where she's going through, or Grognak was going through the jungle to fight the man bats, and another one was Grognak when he was taking on the skeletal warriors in the tomb of Avaros. And you can see, yes, there's pictures so Snake can understand. Your fan club is concerned that you won't be able to read what's on the comics, Snake.
Oh, I know. I'm not worried about Pen Club. They're all haters.
Sam is still more of a Silver Shroud fan than a Grognak fan, so he's definitely a hater.
Okay, I'll see what I can do for you. And
A silver submachine gun?
well, yeah, you never know. And you goes and she steps in among them, and she starts just touching the stuff so it starts to move on its own. And for a scrappy kid, she actually idolizes you, so she's trying even harder. She makes it through with only a few bumps and bruises. And when she's done, she's panting, nearly out of breath, and she's like, "What do you think?"
I think I'll give that a go. Looks like fun. So I'll try it too.
Okay.
Am I gonna destroy all this stuff going through it, or
Make him roll for it.
And that was my question.
Well, let's see. Make me a strength athletics.
Kid's doomed.
Dex. Agility, athletics, and go from there.
and there's that one, and then the ability athletics, a little more dicey. Oh,
Okay.
I was hoping for crit failures.
You're able to tumble, dodge, and weave through it, untouched. You notice that some of the things that some of the momentum of some of the items on the poles and chains that she has set up, sped up as as she was going through and riding their momentum. It's enough to break a mild sweat for you. And she stops and she's like, I've been using the axe, instead of capturing the rad roaches, I've been using the axe to kind of, take one down every once in a while. But mom about that, she doesn't know I'm doing that. Yeah, that's why she points at the different rad roach bits, antenna, legs, wing.
yeah, I'll do like the lips sealed.
Okay.
you know,
She beams and smiles at you. She hands you a tin cup full of water.
Somebody has a crush.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'll say too, you know, you'll probably get used to these moves. Every now and then you should probably practice against someone that can change things up and is unpredictable. Yeah, maybe we should grapple and I'll show her some moves.
But she just loses her nut at that point in time. She's like, okay.
This is going to end badly.
No, it's not. I'm not gonna hurt her.
The
rest
rest no
of you-
self-control.
I do have self-control. I just choose not to use it.
That doesn't make me feel any better.
Look,
Sounds about right.
hey, at least he's honest when he says he doesn't like you.
I'm not trying to make this into anything. I feel like everybody's reading into that.
You as you know, you can hear some of the clanging and banging going on in the back. The stew is very, very good, hot. Some potatoes floating around in there and other vegetables. She's looking at this like, so since I haven't sold anything, how much do you need? Assuming you're here, you know, aside for the meal and to visit, you know, my daughter. Assuming you guys are here for food.
What did
Not
we
wrong.
estimate how long it would take us to go north to Glen Meadows? We're saying like 2 weeks.
Rolls.
Not just Glen Meadows. Glen Meadows
Well,
would be where we
but-
could restock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, about we'll say 2 weeks. You know, I figure you should be you guys know the area well enough and the roads to travel. So unless you choose to deviate too heavily, figure about 2 weeks. You figure you're going to need about 2 weeks,
Yeah. So that's
probably
Okay.
3 to get from here to Addyville and Addyville to back to the annex.
Yeah.
Because you got all those people.
yeah, but we're planning that we'll be able to stock up again at Glen Meadows, correct?
That's the general consensus. Yes.
Um,
You always know you
probably-
can. Go ahead. Sorry.
we could probably hunt a little bit if we had to, but yeah, I'll tell her.
It's also the start of the grow season, so we'll be
Yeah.
able to forage. And there's also the Powder Monk facility
Yeah.
on the way as well. So
Yeah,
we got.
So we'll share that with her. And ask, I don't know, 10 days, and we can forage and hunt the rest, or we can throw out 2 weeks and see what she says.
You mentioned that you have to bring. There's going to be. You mentioned about the 30 additional people that'll be coming back this way that you'll have to provide food for also, or
Yeah, I feel
Probably
like
good thing
that's
to mention that.
helpful
Yeah.
information.
okay. He's like, give you for all those people. You'll have to start. You definitely have to forage for stuff as you're traveling. 2 weeks is doable for 30 people.
I'll also ask her if there's anything she needs that we could look for and bring back for her when we come back with the 30 people.
Like, oh well. Like I trust you, and I think you're here to do me harm. Like here, follow me. We see if guys, finish and put your food and everything. And she leads you into the back.
It's a trap.
She leads you down the set of stairs, and you can see sitting down there is a large contraption piece of machinery. Runs probably about 20 feet, and It is a
Scanning machine.
It's a Blamco food processing.
Never mind.
He says, all I do is I whatever I harvest and I bring in, I put it in there. That's why I collected all those cans and everything from you guys. The system goes through. I fill this up. She goes through the entire step, filling the thing up with water. It goes through it, sterilizes the can. You clearly see a giant glaring, radiation symbol on one section of the equipment. And it goes through and I get the food out the other side. Or canned food, I should say, out the other side. That's usually what I sell to the merchants as they're passing through. What I could use and turns to Sam at this point. He provided me some parts before, but she goes over and there's a computer terminal there, and she starts typing. And you see it comes up with maintenance required on, and there's 3 sections that are there. And I don't know what to do with these.
Oh boy.
So, Sam, make me a science intelligence roll and and an intelligence repair roll.
Nice.
Well, hold on to those. So Snake, she is following the moves and the maneuvers that you're trying to do. Make me a your choice, whatever you want to roll for. Make me either a strength unarmed or strength athletics roll.
This is the part where he rips the third arm off.
Yep.
I'll use these Sluggo Jackson baseball gloves with the complication.
Okay. Yeah.
What'd you use?
Baseball gloves. I wear gloves that let me avoid a complication once per scene.
Oh.
I've had those. In fact, I think that was the very first piece of gear.
Yep. That
I got.
in your baseball bat. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the chains on it.
Yeah. But I still wear them. Yeah.
We acquired that in Mountain, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Back when things were simple.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. Yes, they were. I was thinking that too. So you maneuver and go to do a flip with her. Almost, you catch yourself just in time before realizing that had she been a foe, you probably would have broken her back. Had she been given what you're just practicing, and just stop that from happening. You still knock the wind out of her, and she takes a moment to collect her senses and get back up. Stops and she's rubbing her back, and she's like, again.
So it's probably good if we take a break for a moment.
Okay. I'm sure you're hungry. So yeah, come on, let's go in. Mama put some fresh food on.
All right. Yeah, I gotta stay strong. I need protein.
He gives you goes in. She goes over to the thing. She ladles out. Big hope.
Is. Should he not just say he needs meat?
You're ruining the immersion.
That's what I was about to say, Miss Gray. I think C2 is whispering sweet nothings into his ear as he's sleeping.
Gotta be. Trying to improve the lot of his father.
He's
Even
such
though
an
his father
optimist.
never appreciates his efforts.
Well, I do imagine that when we come in to eat, that C2 will come over and regale her with stories of his might
Merp, 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 merp.
It was merp big and merp scary.
No, he's not down here taking notes on my repairs of the canning machine.
Oh no, he's sitting.
No,
he's
he's not.
He's sitting upstairs. He's polishing off all the food you guys, whatever food you guys left behind. He's like, well,
Yeah, that's
they all
that's
left.
okay, yeah.
So you walk in, you don't see anybody around as you sit down, other than C2 sitting on the table with 4 bowls of stew sitting around, 3 empty bowls, and he's got the other one. He's holding it up, and he kind of here, and he flips the bowl down and he holds it out. You can see there's food on his face, on his belly, in front of him.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Yeah, every warrior needs a companion.
This is why we give him a bib usually.
No, he can't be contained.
So are you C2's companion or C2 your companion?
Oh, we're all C2's companion.
Don't you know, we're the cult of C2.
Mm-hmm.
No.
He is our prophet and leader.
You all can hear footsteps up above on the floor, and every once in a while, a little bit of dust and dirt jiggles out and shakes through. Sam, you're reading what's there. 2 of the 3 things are relatively simple. Your multi-tool or whatever tools that you have, combined with 3 uncommon crafting materials, should be able to solve 2 of the 3 issues. Third issue
So go
is
ahead and subtract that.
yeah, if you want to, yeah.
So 3 common, you said?
3 uncommon,
3 uncommon, okay.
and you can actually do that while and if you wish to explain to the others, about the what you're doing, or about the third thing. Third one's a little more serious. There are several control boards in the system that have long since passed their expiration date, and those need to be replaced. The failure of 2 of them will slow the canning process down almost to a crawl, but it will still go through. The failure of all 3 of them, the system will stop completely. That happens, then their livelihood goes away.
I have in my capstone items some advanced circuitry. I'm assuming that's what it would take.
Could use that, yes.
Is there anything else I could use?
Not that the group is carrying.
Crap. And does this thing look like it might be on its last legs, or?
No, it's been pretty well maintained. And you can see where some of the parts and things are jury rigged in some cases. You're surprisingly getting very little excess radiation leaking from whatever is in the radiation label area. It clearly says, please make sure you're wearing a rad suit before you open the panel. That's like engraved into etched into the metal, so that no way somebody could forget that it's there.
Pre-war America actually being concerned with safety for once. How about that?
Lamco cared about his employees. Didn't care about the people eating the food, but cared about his employees.
Yeah, because if its employees weren't healthy, how are they going to make them into Soylent when they suffered workplace accidents?
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Soylent Green. Not just for breakfast anymore. So she stands there and watches as you're doing that, and she's kind of paying attention. So she understands, and she has tools that she passes over to you. So that way you don't have to rely solely on your multi-tool.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing Sam's unsure of is the circuitry. I mean, I don't mention that I have the parts, but I know I have the parts, but I'm weighing whether or not it would be in our best interest to give them up at this point, or if, I don't know.
Well, that's something, she, after you've done your work, she, gets everybody back upstairs. She puts down fresh bowls of food. Fills up your stew bowls. Kinda-
With mole rat saliva.
Well, she gives you fresh ones, but she's kind of scratching her head as to how the bowls all got emptied on, and some of it got onto the, and the three, two, Snake and her daughter are just sitting there, gadding, and she's, scratching C2's belly, and he's, murping, and every once in a while, kind of, passes gas that should clear a room.
Oh dear Lord.
It's kind of like the bean scene from Blazing Saddles. And all three of them eventually start doing it to each other. So you have time to discuss with the with the group as she puts your stuff down, fills your water up, and goes into the back, eventually dragging her daughter away back to chores.
At that point, I'm going to relay to the others that I have advanced circuitry that could fix it, but it's a very valuable item. Yeah, that's the other thing that Sam's unsure about. We might be able to find more advanced circuitry somewhere else. However,
We won't be able to drive there to get it.
probably not, and some of this would probably be found either in a very sophisticated computer or some sort of robot.
We find robots all the time.
Not the kind that would have advanced circuitry in them.
Well, since it's already well maintained, maybe we'll be lucky and find another one somewhere and bring one back.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, for now, keep the advanced circuitry. Okay.
Yeah, but you've seen it. You know exactly what she needs.
Yep.
Okay. That's what you guys decide to do. Okay. Yeah.
I'm remembering the Sentry bot from Fallout 76. Its name is Daisy, and it thinks it's a cow.
Yes, I love Daisy.
You sit there, you relax, for food, eating your food. She comes back out, probably about 20 minutes or so. Her and her daughter each carrying the large, carrying between them a large steamer chest. You can hear the cans rattling around inside, or the girl's dragging it, because it's heavy. They sit it down in front of the counter. I have this, and we'll start to load the other one up for you. That should be enough to, you and the people coming. There may be a little bit left over, and hopefully there's, she scratches her chin. Like, do you know what to look for out there to gather stuff?
Would that have been part of our upbringing in Asheville, just out of curiosity?
Yep.
Okay, then we know what to look for when we're foraging.
Okay. Yeah, if anything, you guys probably have more knowledge than most people, given the fact that was a heavy-duty farming community.
Yeah.
Traded with the Minton for, the parts to keep the pump, the water pump running.
Right.
He's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Another 10 minutes or so goes by, and the two of them come out with several smaller metal packing, like milk crates full of cans and such. Everything you asked for.
We'll bring you back the empties.
Appreciate it. That'll go a long way to making sure we can repackage some more stuff. And if you see anybody traveling, tell them that if they need food, please send them our way.
We'll keep that in
And we
mind.
told her that we're going to look for the circuitry or what she needs to fix her machine too, right?
She comes over and she clasps your hand, Sally Sue. She's like, "Oh, that would be great. You know, I don't know what we would do if that, you know, if everything stops working." You know, the little girl, you know, the girl's kind of looking at, you know, told them everything they've done for us. Yeah, of course I told them.
I mean, we've kind of proven ourselves to be sort of trustworthy, right?
I think so.
I don't actually say that out loud.
What's
I'm saying
the
that out of character to the rest of the group.
what's the girl's name? Do we know?
Steph.
Steph?
Seriously, your memory issues are getting worse and worse. I think Saval needs to take a look and maybe install a steel plate.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep, and it might allow you to actually string more than 2 or 3 thoughts together.
Yeah, but I've seen what it's done to Sam, so no.
That's a hard no. You notice that he was like, you know, and that's my final answer. So
Yeah.
We'll save it for when you have a major head injury. Then,
Another one.
hey, the only one who's actually taken the bullet to the head is Sam.
Yeah.
That's why he has the metal plate in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
They
guys
just got
are-
gored.
Just scored.
Just gored.
Gore.
Mm-hmm.
Rooms are provided to the group for the night. They're able to, you know, between loading the stuff up on good and plenty of milk duds, spreading it across the 2 of them. Yeah, you can corral them on the side.
And in the Brahmin cart.
Yep, and the Brahmin cart. Yep,
Don't forget we have a Brahmin cart.
I didn't forget. But I figured, you know, I took it upon myself to figure that the supplies would be spread out evenly in case something like you guys normally do. So, and Sam, make me a perception sneak roll.
Perception sneak. Is that what you said?
Yes, perception sneak.
Okay. I think one of my tags. I think it might be. Yeah, sneak is one of my tags.
Same thing with you, Snake.
What was it?
Perception sneak.
The shadows. I am the night.
Hey there, Batman.
Batman.
Sam. Well, you guys should be up to full at this point, I believe. So Snake, you kind of just roll over, scratch yourself, and go back to sleep. You can see Stu is not quite sitting on your chest, but you know he's, you know, or he tumbles off when you turn over.
I assume there's a very indignant Merp.
He kind of just, you know, goes waddling over and looks at the door and then goes waddling up. Sam, you're, you know, brought awake by the slight thud, and you can hear sound of groaning metal and wood, you know, squeaking.
I mean, not exactly an unusual thing in structures like this.
It's not coming from the building.
Ew. Hmm. Now, see, my head tells me to investigate. My gut tells me I'm going to end up like Snake again.
Do you want to wake somebody up
Yeah, that's
to
what I'm
help
thinking.
you?
What do you mean end up like Snake again?
What happened last time you went out on your own? Here in the middle of the night. Yes, I realized you were this close, and I'm holding my fingers maybe half of a millimeter apart to killing that thing, but it still did a lot of damage to you. So I'm going to let's see, Sval or Snake, which would be better? Probably Snake. I'm gonna kick Snake.
You go put your steel toe shoes on first.
Okay, fine. I give him a shove and tell him shut up.
You said that with particular resignation, and also see that there was probably a smile on your face. It's like, yeah, I kick Snake.
Yeah, no,
What the
I
hell?
just use my foot to give him a shove and tell him noises outside. We're going
What?
to investigate. Come on.
Noises? Deal with it yourself.
C2 already left the room. You don't want to make sure he's okay?
I'm making the noise.
What
No,
did you say?
he's probably the one making the noises.
These do not sound like noises that a mole rat could make.
Sam and Snake show.
That was a very heavy sigh. Fine. I'm not even going to bother to put anything on. I'm just going to do the. I'm going to leave the Grognak outfit
You're
on.
just gonna free ball it.
Free
I mean,
balling.
I'm just going to grab the axe and keep the Grognak.
I'm so
Loincloth on.
glad Sally Sue and I are in a different room.
Yeah, Sam gets him and his helmet.
Are you free balling it too?
No, I'm actually
he's
wearing
wearing
clothes.
He has a helmet on, and he has a steel toe boot.
I didn't know if he had any other protection or if he was just the top and the bottom. I don't.
I've got clothing on. Yeah.
I am wearing my vintage, since I'm old, my vintage Walt Disney World Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales t-shirt, and I have my Joe Boxer pajama bottoms on. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Nice day today. Yeah, okay, so you take a moment to throw, sorry, are you armoring up or?
I think the most I'm going to do is make sure that my chest plate is properly sealed and my helmet's on, but I'm not sure I'm going to get much more than that.
Okay. So, following the noise, seems to be coming from the back. The C2 sitting on a countertop. He's got a piece of rag roach meat in his paw, in his poogies, and he's sitting at the window. And every once in a while he'll lean to the left, almost to the point where he's falling over, catch himself, and kind of go back to eating the meat, and then lean to the left, and
In a food coma.
Yeah, kind of. He's kind of weeble wobbling, but he doesn't fall down.
Yeah, I'm going
As far as C2 has a very unhealthy relationship with food.
I want to say, Sam, look, C2 isn't bothered. Like, you're just messing with me.
Can I see what's making the noise?
Yeah, so you look out back, and two small torches are guttering to the point that they're almost out. But you can see that there's some sort of contraptions out there, and you can see Steph moving between them using her axe, either bat or knock. Like there's a chain with a large not oil can, paint can on it that has wooden knobs sticking out of it. Bat one of those out of the way. She rolls underneath. One of them catches her, on the side. She turns and uses her axe to kind of drive that away. And she's just working her way through this. Snake, you can see some of the tumbles that you had shown her. She's attempting to do that. Every once in a while, she gets one off, properly. that she's able to, block the blow or roll with the blow, almost like your unnatural luck that you have.
Okay. Be like, see, there's nothing. I'm going
Yeah.
back. I'm going back to bed.
Sam's wondering what he should do. He is thoroughly. Okay.
Challenge accepted. Enter
Sam's
player
going
one.
to go out and see what Steph is doing.
Okay, so you step outside, and Steph stops.
Yeah, I'll come out too. I want to watch this. This is gonna
And
be hilarious.
She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't wake you. I figured I'd take a little time before, after finishing chores and
Didn't like us at
practice."
all. Concerned someone decided to throw their mole rat onto the floor.
Yeah, I was talking to Sam here. I don't think he can. I don't think he can make it through this challenge.
Kind of point at the shotgun. No shotgun. No.
It wouldn't be useful here.
Looks, and she points at points towards some of the darkness, and she's like, the course begins down there. If you want to try. And she goes scampering into the darkness, and you can hear the sounds of chain and wood and metal, groaning and squeaking and moving.
I'm about to lose 30 caps.
We'll
Okay.
see.
Well, let's get started. What do I need
so-
to roll?
Strength athletics first, and then agility athletics.
Strength athletics and then agility athletics. Strength athletics is probably not going to go very well.
Okay.
And then agility athletics, you said?
Yep.
Wow.
So not bad.
Yeah.
You're moving through at a pretty good clip. You managed to, while not firing a round off, using get some as either a block or a brace, get around several of the sections where, like a metal beam and I-beam swings down. You have, if it had clipped you, hell, if it clipped her, it would be, an injury. Crawling underneath, you get past most of that stuff. You're able to dodge through quite a bit of the various obstacles that are swinging, or strike the target to spin it away, to duck underneath. Come through, you're covered in a sheen of sweat, and you're not quite as doubled over as you think you would be, but you're breathing a little bit heavy for this. Made it through.
I look at Snake, 30 caps.
I'm impressed. It was worth getting up for this. And I give him 30 caps, and then I'm headed back to bed.
Okay. You're yes, Sam. She comes over and she's like, "Yeah, you did pretty good for and she points over and you can see she has a storyboard. She said, see, and she shows you what she built out of this, and she's pretty proud. She did all this herself during her downtime. When she had free time to put it together. And she's sheepishly she says, it's like, hey, I'm thank you for what I thank you for the axe, and you have a whetstone. I'd appreciate if you could leave it behind. I got to put a little bit of an edge on it. I kind of told it a
Does
few
Sam even
times.
have that?
You
One
have
thing-
everything.
No, they don't have something like that here.
Oh no,
I
I'm
mean, no,
talking to
does
Sam.
does Sam have something like that?
Oh, yeah, I could say it's a common item that you would have, among your
Yes.
supplies.
Sam
Oh.
is a weapon hoarder. Of course he has a
Yeah.
stone.
I'll tell her I'll see what I can do in the morning.
Okay.
But yeah, no, Sam's come to the conclusion that she's a very clever kid.
Oh yeah, she's she got she's got the smarts and the
The drive.
the drive, and the aptitude. I was going to say, but yeah, the drive to do things.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Okay. Well, curiosity satisfied. I guess everybody goes back to bed now.
Yeah. Yep. You can see C2. He's sitting there when you walk back in, and
Is he passed out?
Yeah, he's sitting there with both his. He's got like that food coma, kicking in. He's his eyes are drooping. He's got his poogies in the air, waiting for you to pick him up.
Yeah, you better scoop him up.
Yeah, I shoulder get some and I pick up C2. I say, "Come on, let's get you back to bed."
Okay. He figured he probably put on about 5 pounds since he got here too.
Good grief. C2 has a very unhealthy relationship with food.
Well, yeah, but the cigarettes help. So
Yeah, it's just a mole rat.
yeah, he's just
Yeah.
he's
It's a mole
working.
rat trying to survive in the wastelands.
I
Give
don't
him a
think
break.
he's surviving at this point. I think he's thriving.
Yeah, the obesity and the diabetes that'll kick in, but he'll be perfectly fine.
Oh boy. We need to do something about C2. This is not healthy.
You begin, saying your goodbyes in the morning. You leave the whetstone for Steph.
Yep.
Okay,
So that's one common crafting material I'm
one
seeing.
common crafting material. Yep. She
Okay.
gives you a hug. She says thank you.
No.
Mom kind of looks at her, looks at you, and just shakes her head.
Same as many regrets. That's all
Yeah.
I'm going to say.
And she waits until everybody heads on out. She comes out and waves to she comes out and waves to the group.
I wave back.
Miss Gray, make me 2 perception survival rolls.
Okey doke.
And so you arrive. The road is relatively clear. No encounters, if you will. When you arrive back at the barn, and then taking a moment just to make sure everything was okay there, you head towards Addyville. You're approaching outskirts of Addyville when you hear the occasional gunfire
That's not good.
Yeehaw.
coming from the area. We're
Okay.
all at range at this point.
We're at what range?
Extreme.
Extreme. Okay, so Hecate's out. I'm looking down the scope to see if I can spot anything.
We're all geared up now, right?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh,
did
full
you-
health.
Just a reminder. I know some people are low on luck. You all have a memento that you can utilize. It's
Yep.
utilized once per not session. The quest that we're on right now. That will give you back 1 point of luck. That's when you use it. So if anybody needs to refill luck, you can you pull your memento out, think about home and everything and along that lines, and gain a point of luck back now if you like.
Okay, I'll do that. Can't hurt.
Take out my potted plant and whisper sweet things to it.
I just have a pocket watch.
Following the sounds of the gunfire, come behind the fight that's going on. See that there are 6 individuals in heavy raider armor. They all have, I shouldn't say all. 3 of them have rifles, hunting rifles, and they're firing down into the area where you had left the survivors. Scanning across to there, nobody's shooting back. You can see people like hiding and ducking behind stuff. You can see at least one body laying there, and gunfire goes along for a couple minutes. They stop the reload.
How many are there?
5 total.
Okay. So we're at extreme range right now. Can we close to long without them spotting us?
Yes, I would say after that it would be a sneak roll, a contested roll. Their perception
Okay.
against your agility sneak if you get any closer after that.
Because if we get to long range, I can start picking them off.
And if you're distracting them with that, then I can sneak in closer.
Yep.
I think I'd have a decent chance.
Okay. Do any of them appear to be, once we get into long range, do any of them appear to be the obvious leader?
No.
Nobody
Nobody's
who's
taking
got a
instru-
slightly more flashy or
No, nothing like that. There are 2, five individuals total, all heavy raider armor, some sort of skull cap. The 2 of them are carrying sledgehammers. The other 3 have hunting rifles. Every once in a while, one of them will, they'll scoped hunting rifles. I'm sorry. So they're firing, an occasional, couple rounds down range. Doesn't have the same ring as 308. Maybe a little bit smaller.
Yeah, the rifles might have been converted to use 38 or something. That is a thing in the wasteland.
Yep, you can always change the receivers.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to, as one of them goes to fire, I'm going to aim a shot and take it. I'm going to aim a shot for his head.
We know what you're doing, Miss Gray. Who's sneaking up with who's advancing while this is going on with Miss Gray?
I need to get the close range to use my fists and stuff, so I guess I'll try to advance a little bit.
Jake, I'm assuming you're moving up too.
With gusto.
Okay.
Can we move up separately? If Sally Sue and I sneak,
Uh-oh.
can Snake do his own?
Sure, if he wants to, he can make a sneak roll too. You guys all have that option to make that roll. Saval, what are you doing with this? Okay, so you sniping also at long range?
You do have that improved sniper laser rifle.
Okay. So
Uh,
it just increases the complication. You can still fire it at other ranges. You know, it just increases the complication. That's all. Okay, so Sam, we'll take your shot off. Yeah, you watch one guy's head just
how do the others react to that?
um
The Raiders, I mean.
the guy on the end. Oh, sorry. Of the three, so 2, 3, and 4 are all the shooters. 1 and 4, 1 and 5 are the close combat guys. Which of the shooter did you shoot?
Is one of them more forward than the other two, or more visible to the others? Or anything like that, or are they all about the same and just ducking and cover?
Yeah, they're all the same. None of them are moving after they shoot, but they'll pop off, take a shot, drop back down.
Because I
Shit.
kind of want to kill the one that's most visible.
That would probably
The
be
others.
that would probably be number 4.
That I'm going to shoot number 4.
Okay. So number 5 definitely react. The close combat guy who's watching definitely reacts as he just watches number 4's head just there into a fine red mist and expanding cloud. 2 and 3 are firing. 3 is kind of dumbfounded, going, "What just happened?" 2 is dropped back down and is chambering around. 1 is kind of just still zoned forward. Saval, we'll have you roll in a minute. Let's get everybody who wants to make everybody who's sneaking, make a sneak agility roll. Sally Sue, you got yours, and let's see. Okay, they're still distracted by what just happened, and Ray.
Oh,
Can I re-roll that? Can I use
can-
my luck
you can-
point that I just
You can
gave
gladly
back
use
to
that luck.
myself?
Yep,
Okay.
you can.
Oh, much
Oh.
better.
much better.
There you go. You disappear, and Sally Sue doesn't see where you where you but you sorry,
Which way did you go?
you catch yourself from falling into a crevice, into a ditch, a crevasse. But keeping your balance, you manage to use that to actually weave your way through some of the rubble to get closer. You both can close to close range. Won't be able to make an attack this turn, but next turn you will be. Snake, are you sneaking, or are you just bold as walking forward?
Oh, I'm like, I'm practically waving my hands. I'm so not sneaking.
Okay.
You.
Hey,
Uh-huh.
boys.
You're about to die.
I've arrived.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, even after Sam, much decapitates the one guy, Sam, you see Snake just walking along. Chunky Boy or Axe? What do you have in your hand?
Since they're at long range, I'm gonna go with Chunky Boy for now.
Okay. Well, you can close to close.
Oh.
Using your minor and your major, you can close. Moving at pretty much at a steady run or loop. You can close.
No, I'll go with the minor to move and the major to shoot off Chunky Boy.
Okay. Well, major will take you to long range, so you'll still be they're not a medium if you wish to shoot.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. I mean, it's for the intimidation factor anyway. I was seeing little explosions all over the place.
Okay, so let's Saval get his shot off.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. Well, still counts, still hits. So Saval, make your roll. Okay, and roll for damage.
Oh,
Nice work.
That's gonna take somebody out, I
4,
think.
6, 8. No, he wasn't even aiming for the head. He was just like, and Hey, Sam, watch this. He's looking at you. Oh, hey, I think I killed the guy.
Yeah, no, there's just a
Uh,
glowing red hole where one of his eyes used to be.
No hands. Nope.
Yeah, he staggers back and he's he punched through with, that little bit of a skull cap that he has.
Saval essentially lobotomized him.
Yeah, the guy's clasping his eye or the front of his head. The rifle's just oh, sorry, did you shoot a gunner or a close combat guy, or just you can just roll a 6-sider and just guy
Maybe a
or
four-sider at
4-sider
this point,
random
yeah.
guy. Okay, so you shot one of the melee guys. So he was kind of looking. This was the guy who just watched the first guy. Then he heard yoo and he turns his head and he did catch a blinding light in the eye. So he's you can see smoke steaming off his face and he's holding the ruin of his face there, rolling to the side. Nice job. Snake, roll for damage. Oh, he's already got the hit off. Yep. Okay.
Oh, I'll go ahead and do the extra. The rate of 5 now.
Okay. Let's see. So the burst only counts for close range. So you
Okay.
won't catch any extra guy with that, but you will pretty much turn one of them into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Roll 4-sider 2, unless you just to see which guy you hit.
At this
You
point, it would be
okay?
a three-sider, I think.
No. The other guy's still alive. He's not dead. So there's still 4 guys there.
But Saval lobotomized him.
Oh, he did. He's down. He's not out.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you've taken him out of the fight. Mercy round later on. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 11 points of damage across 5 spots. 11, half of that is 6. Yeah. So you eliminate one of the gunners.
Okay, I get a point of luck back then.
Okay. Yeah, you turn him into a flaming scarecrow. He's dancing around. They're turning back. So the close combat guy, is standing up and he's holding the sledgehammer in his hand, but all he sees is Snake. The guy that Saval shot in his head, he's kind of just he's slumped there. And he's trying to pack rags or dirt, whatever he can grab into the the burned out eye socket. Combat ineffective. The other 2 guys, which are other 1 guy, I should say, spins around and he fires at. Well, let's see. The only person he sees is Snake, so he fires at Snake.
I feel like I'm Superman. Pulling the, going from Clark Kent to Superman. Like, bring it.
All it takes is one kryptonite bullet.
Hit you.
Bell.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Gotta touch someone.
Ooh.
Right arm. Hold on. I get to throw in a. Get a fire. Oh, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 piercing, 7 damage to your right arm.
First thing will go all the way through. No, hold on. I have 10.
You have 10 in your arms. It'll be reduced to 4. That means
Yeah, I have 10 damage resistance.
okay. So 3. So 10 damage. Yeah. So 10
Yeah.
damage resistance becomes 4 damage resistance. 4 You'll soak 4 and take 3 points of damage.
Okay, no, it's just made me grumpy.
So, um.
Exactly.
Miss Gray, starting at the top of the order.
Yep.
You come out from the little culvert crevice that you were in. You're at close range. You can see one of them, is holding a sledgehammer, just kind of looking around. He's fixated on Snake, but he knows that there's people shooting too. One guy is like I said, just going through the motions of just taking random things and kind of jamming it into his head. Kind of stop the flow of blood, but he is. The other guy's.
Personally, I would
with his
offer him a
rifle.
knife and tell him that this will make him feel better.
Yeah, no. Do any of them have their back turned towards me, or can I maneuver to?
None of them are even know that you're there. They're the rifleman, the guy with the rifle, is shooting at Snake. The other guy is kind of just like waiting to see what happens next.
Yeah. So I'll come up from the little gully. I've got my assassin pistol, the suppressed one.
Okay.
And I'll walk up behind the guy closest to me, and I'll just point blank shoot him in the back of the head.
Okay.
No.
Again? Can I use another luck point?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not my night. Oh.
The dice gods really want you to have that
I know.
complication.
Okay. So you fire. Round goes off, hits him in the back of the head. The weapon jams, so you won't be able to make a second attack with that. At this point, you'll have to spend a minor action to clear. Let's roll for damage.
Okay.
Is hurt, but still alive. You watch his head snap forward, and he kind of, takes it off a little bit. The small trickle of blood from the back of his head, running down where you punch through the skull cap. He turns towards you. Sam, you're up.
There's one guy left other than the guy that Sewell needs to put out of his misery.
There is 2 guys left. Miss Gray just shot one, but he doesn't see. It didn't seem to phase him, and he's spinning. He's spinning with his sledgehammer to turn the face towards her. Then there's the guy with the rifle, who is in the process of thumbing rounds into the weapon to shoot at Snake again. And then there's the guy who is combat ineffective.
So Snake can take a few hits. The guy who's turning around to swing the sledgehammer at Gray is probably the bigger threat. Are there any complications where I might hit Gray, or
Only if you roll 20.
okay? Let's hope I don't then.
Please don't.
I know I don't want to do it either. Like up here, reroll.
Roll for location and damage.
All right, and declare where I wanted to hit him. Ooh, that's bad. Torso.
Okay, he'll blow through whatever armor he has.
Always does.
9 points of damage. Okay. He is still alive. Do you wish to make a second attack?
Since he's still an active threat, yes, I think. So that's what, 2
Yeah.
action points?
2
Yeah,
action
go
points.
for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, okay.
Kill him dead.
Okay.
Oh, good job.
Damage. Oh, damage rolls are sucking. Left leg.
Punch through his leg armor.
And that's 7 points damage with 12 piercing.
Yep.
Or no, 8 points damage.
Yeah, so it's 8. I got the 8. He drops to a knee. That's Sam. That's you hear 2 rounds of man-made thunder peel across the.
Part of me wants to
battlefield?
silence the rifle, but at the same time, I don't think I want to.
The shock effect would
Yeah.
be.
More
shock effect has
satisfying
some-
not to.
But at the same time, just having your buddy's head explode with no rhyme, reason, or sound, that's also pretty shocking.
Sally Sue, you pop up from where you're at with a bit of a charge. You can close on the one that is bleeding profusely on one knee before he gets up to strike at Miss Gray.
Okay, dokie. I will use my shotgun fist.
Using you're using it as a shotgun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
He drops the hammer from nerve damaged fingers. You can see bone and mixed with Raider armor, bearing through the from the hit, and he is, for all intents and purposes, combat ineffectual because of the the stunning from the blow. So Saval. The other guy fires right before you do, and he's firing at Snake. Does realize that there are people there. Leg. Oh, and it's.
Headshot.
I'm not even going to
Yeah,
roll
in
the
fact,
extra dice.
I went back and looked. Actually, I had 11 resistance, so I took 2 damage. Yeah,
Okay.
and it'll be the exact same for the leg.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother to roll the got extra ammo. Or not. He does hit you multiple times, but
I just shrug it off.
yeah.
Like the freight train, like blah blah blah. Like the freight train, I am.
Saval, you may make your shot. There are 2 guys that are down but not out, and then there's the one that's shooting at Snake. Frantically, with a sense of urgency and panic setting in.
Oh. Uh-oh. I don't know that I like this roll.
We're getting a
Shoot
lot of
Snake in the ass.
complications.
The power cell drains.
Oof.
So it dies out at that point in time. It will be a minor action to relay. That's a shitload of piercing.
Yeah, that's 10
I've seen worse.
piercing.
10 piercing.
I've seen worse.
What she said.
Right leg. Oh, sorry. Right leg? Right arm, sorry. Shot hits his arm. He's still holding on. There's smoke coming through where the Raider armor, melts, pretty much melts away. Alive and kicking. He's a little bit more panicked now because there's people all around him.
There are still 2 that are combat effective.
There are 2 combat ineffective. The guy that you struck, and the guy that Saval hit originally with the headshot. He's still
Right.
he's managed to hack the wound and hit himself up with several different chems. Not exactly sure what. Slowly climbing to his feet.
Probably Psycho.
Is
There'll also be some medics.
not look. He's just his head's just swinging around back and forth. You hear, Sam, from where you're at. You also hear the sound of man-made thunder coming from behind you.
Oh shit.
Well, you feel sharp pain in your as your right arm. 6 points of piercing. 6, 8, 10 points of damage to your right arm.
Wow.
Or Saval, for you.
Very much so.
Saval, you drop your rifle.
You might want to get into cover. Looks like I'm going to be counter sniping.
Snake, you see from where you can see the 2 girls engaging the one guy. There is a single rifleman shooting at you, and there's a guy who's standing on his feet. He has a blade of some sort in his hand, and he's kind of just looking around.
Oh no, the guy who shot me twice, I am aiming squarely at him.
Okay.
And so I'll still move up again.
Okay.
With the minor.
You are. Let's see.
Put me at medium, right?
You're just within medium. Yes. You hit. You're still only hitting just him, but the spread will affect.
Breathing off 5 as well.
Okay.
Not great, but okay, I'm gonna do it anyway. It should still make him poop a little.
Let's see. So that's
Oh,
9, 5, and 5. 4. He falls. So as the flames roll across him, he only has 3 energy. The Raider armor only gives him a 3 energy resistance no matter whatever spot he is. So 19 minus 9 is 10. So 10 plus the 8. Yeah, he's pirouetting around trying to put the fire out, and he's will be dead. On his round, won't be able to stop it.
Oh, that tests me out. Maxes me back out on luck.
Nice.
Yay. Wonderful.
But the guy who's standing makes a half-hearted swing at you, Miss Gray, with the blade in his hand.
Alrighty.
Does hit. Stabs you in the leg for 1 piercing and 3 points of damage.
Yeah, so I've got 11 armor protection.
Okay. Yeah, he's not sure. He doesn't seem to be all there, if you will.
Understandably. Okay.
And that's not even the fact he's missing part of his eye and whatever brain got burned away inside.
He's dead. He just doesn't know it yet.
Pretty much.
He's working on it.
Top of the initiative though. You have the one guy with the knife in front of you, who may or may not be effective. You have the guy who's down on his knee, and actually everybody else is dead. So yeah,
We have that sniper who's attacking both Saval and I.
yes.
Yeah. Are we aware that there's somebody shooting at Sam and Saval?
Not unless.
Like, did
Let's
they
see.
radio it to us,
Saval,
or?
did you scream over the radio, or... Okay, good.
Yeah, you do hear a cry out from Saval. You can see he standing there, his right arm's hanging loosely by his side. You can see that there's blood visibly dripping from his arm. His rifle laying on the ground. He hasn't had a chance to act yet, so. But you do hear the cry of pain and the heavy breathing coming from him.
Would I be able to estimate where this person is that shot him?
Try. Make a perception. As you scan out across the
Sorry, it was a
battlefield.
perception what?
Sneak. Think for a moment that you see a glit of sunlight on glass. Let's see if the clock. Sam's 7 o'clock. That would be his back left behind him.
Okay, so a really far distance from me then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. So my assassin pistol jammed.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna put that away. I'll deal with it later.
Okay.
I'm gonna draw my peacemaker, and I'll shoot the guy that tried to take a swipe at me with his knife.
Okay. You hit. Got him. Do you wish to go add any additional shots based upon the rate of fire?
What's the rate of fire is only 1.
Okay, so you can roll one more combat. I feel like,
Yeah.
and technically you can use your gun fu to re-roll the 3 blanks. Just cost you an extra bullet, so you could roll 4 bolt. You can cost you
Sure,
2 extra bullets, and you can roll 4 dice.
sure. Not great.
Okay.
But...
No, still. That is enough to kill him. So the round punches him into the chest. As if you slugged him yourself, or Sally Sue slugged him with his power fist. The knife falls from his hands. You see he's got this crazy grin on his face as he just kind of
Who's that?
drops backwards. Hits
I don't
the
know
ground.
what that noise was.
Yeah, I don't either.
Gene.
Sorry, I was talking, so I didn't hear.
It was just a
Um,
loud noise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, can I also can I radio to Sam and Civil and tell them where I think I saw the flash of sunlight reflecting? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it for my turn.
She tells you, that's your 7 o'clock, so directly behind you and to your left, Sam. It is your go, Sam.
I'm going to try and see if I can spot what Gray was, the sniper in the area that Gray told me.
Yep. So you're looking around. You don't, excuse me. You scan the area. Don't see any. Make a perception. Make a perception small guns roll for me.
Not great.
You can see the glint of a piece of metal sitting there on a rock wall. Don't see anything else beyond that.
Is that glint of metal a firearm or?
It's too tiny to be that. It is. I would guess it's probably a cartridge.
So we know that he was there at the very least, but he's not there anymore. Got it. Okay.
Sal, you look around. You don't see anything other than the dead bodies and the two burning bodies, if you will. Thank God everybody's gas mask. All that cooking flesh.
Yeah,
There's-
actually, that was something I thought about while we were in the annex. We probably should have asked if they had extra cartridges for gas masks.
You can find out when you go back.
Yeah.
What would you like to do, Sally?
Is there still one more guy over there?
No, everybody's dead.
Oh.
Between Sam, Snake, and then and the rest of you dealing with the other two, you've managed. Excuse me, take all 5 out. You only
Okay.
have 3 bodies to loot, but you
Obviously, I heard that there was somebody else shooting,
yes.
and it's like too far away to. How far away is Sam and Saval?
They're at long range, so it would be 2 rounds before you could even get back to Saval.
There's nothing else around here.
No.
I will start making my way back to Sam and Saval.
Okay. As you're walking along, you snap open the shotgun and another fat cartridge into it. That's a one-shot weapon.
Yep.
Okay, so you start heading back that way. Saval, what are you doing? Okay, so you grab your rifle and you get behind the remnants of a cinder block wall. Your arm is on absolute fire, and if you wish, spend 2 action points to administer. I don't know if that's 2 injuries to you or 1. I don't know. If you have like adamantine skeleton or anything. But right now you have at least 1 injury, possibly 2. And 2 action points to yourself up with the stim pack to reduce the injury or to heal the damage, but not both.
We are.
Okay. You going for the wound, or you going for the injury, or you going for the damage? Injury first. Okay. So do you have anything that increases your injury threshold? The adamantine skeleton would be the adamantium skeleton. Okay, so you've managed to numb some of the pain, but your fingers still aren't responding. Your thumb barely is, so you still have at least 1 more injury on top of that. The best you can do is, like I said, is either shoot yourself back up again or whatnot. Snake, what are you doing?
There's nobody nearby left that's still alive, right?
No, really the only thing you hear is the tick of the or the ping of the metal cooling from Chunky Boy.
I patched to rifle. Everything under control.
Sorry, potential sniper in the area. Stand by.
We'll literally just stand there then.
Oh my gosh. You could loot at least.
I think he starts looking around frantically because there's nothing to stand by, nothing to stand next to. He's panicking.
Strikes a pose. Chunky boy leaning on his shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just hang out. I'll stand by then. Literally.
Oh boy.
Stand still, stand by. Same thing.
Miss Gray, back to you.
So I saw Sally Sue head back towards Sam and Saval, so I am going to follow her.
Sam, you're scanning. Nothing. You're waiting patiently, watching. You're not sure if they're waiting for you guys to make a mistake and vice versa.
This feels very much like when we were back in Okawville and we were fighting those raiders, and one of them, and there was a sniper.
I never found that sniper, right?
We did not.
Interesting.
Sally Sue and Saval. So Sally Sue makes it over to you, Saval. You have, she can administer first aid too if she'd like, or you can. The two of you working together can get at least 2 stim packs into you. One to heal the heal the injury, the other one to restore damage done. So, well, you two talk it out among yourselves as to who does what.
I will, I guess, stab stim pack into him.
Sally,
Okay.
Stem.
one of her stims, you can feel the cool rush going through you. Now, if you want to make a medicine intelligence roll, add your you can get, if you choose which stim pack you want to use, you'll either get 2 or 4 points back plus whatever your rank in medicine is. Okay. Good. Use it a diluted or a full strength? Well, okay. 4 plus whatever your medicine value is. You're feeling good right now.
Thumbs up.
Snake, you can see what I just described. You see Sally Sue and Saval working feverishly on Saval's arm. Gray is closing the distance on both of them. You can Sam still scanning the area.
I patched a rifle. What's the situation?
Still searching for the enemy sniper. Please stand by.
Snake continues to stand by.
No. Well, you either go with the guy that's standing down in the open to shoot him, not knowing that he's a walking tank, or you go with the.
I'm honestly kind of hoping that he shoots at him because then I could try and pinpoint his location again.
Well, group waits probably for a minute or two. Everything's kind of, other than the slight crackling of the fire as the bodies, the fat in the bodies, pop off. Everything's kind of gone. Definitely quiet on the battlefield. Wind blows here and there. You can hear the scream wind circling overhead. Ready to come down to
taste the barbecue.
Yep. Eat at Joe's. You're just spreading the joy across the battlefield, across the wasteland.
Exactly. I'm roasted just for them.
Everybody but Sam. So you hear somebody call out, "Hello, is there anybody there?"
Everybody except
Huh?
me.
Well, yeah, you're all the way. You're at long range compared to the group, and Snake is medium range compared to that where they're at. Well, actually, no. I'm sorry. Yes, everybody but you and Snake. Snake is still standing by, and the others are over by. So you're concentrating on looking for the sniper. So if you wish to be distracted, I will gladly say you're distracted.
Nope.
Okay,
I'm
there you go.
concentrating.
Okay, there you go. So you can see one of the Mew 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 survivors, kind of creeping forward. He's got a board with a nail in it, type. He's looking around, crouched down low. Anybody there?
I radio and ask, make sure someone else heard him too.
Well, the group that's with you, which is pretty much Ray and Saval, are kind of or they heard. Snake, we'll say Snake heard at the point. I could call that again. So Snake, you can also hear somebody calling out.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
I patched a rifle. I hear
Rifle
something.
doesn't know me.
Rifle here.
I hear something.
Is it the sniper?
Don't know.
Then stand by.
Continue to stand by.
So,
I picture Snake just like frozen, like mid-step.
He's got
I-
Chunky Boy out still, and yeah.
I can do this all day. Hey, ever do isometrics before? You look like a strong kid. Here, hold this claymore. So the three of you see creeping out from behind where the fight was. Two men from. You see a second one approaching. He also has a tire iron in his hand, and he's kind of looking. He sees the dead bodies. He taps his friend, points to there, and now he sees Snake standing there like a statue, and he sees the group in the distance. It takes him, they start talking among themselves, and then they hurriedly start heading over to you guys, to the three of you.
I wave.
One of them waves back at you.
Oh, they're friendly.
I'm a little worried that the sniper might shoot them.
Oh yeah.
What's the distance between us?
Medium at this point.
Well, if we can hear them, they can hear us, so we can let them know.
I shoot them when they can shoot Snake.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna yell at him to take cover. There's a sniper in the area. AKA, don't run out here.
Okay, they scramble behind some of the partial walls that still stand. So they're like, okay, we'll take cover. Thank you.
Should we try to make our way over to them?
Yeah, if you want to, I still want to try and find the sniper. I think I'm going to help Sam try and find this person. I'm really annoyed by this person, especially if it's the same person that sort of ambushed us previously. I want to find this SOB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You have two ways of doing that. You can either use your regular eyes and just keep looking around for anything that seems out of the ordinary, or you can take Saval's rifle, utilizing the scope there to look through that.
Yeah, I'll start with that. I'll borrow Saval's rifle.
Saval, knock off a cartridge. So Miss Gray can, I'm assuming you hand the rifle and the ammo over so she can reload. Handing the rifle to you, you pop the cell out, drop it onto the ground, and pop the cell in. You can hear the steady thrum of the weapon as it warms and surges. Power surges through it.
Oh, go ahead.
You begin to look around. Make me a perception.
Perception what?
Sneak, sorry.
Sneak.
Sneak, yes, please. Scanning the horizon and figuring, you don't know where it would be other than, directly behind you. Don't see anything out of the ordinary. Like I said, the scream wings are overhead. Some of them have already gone down and started pecking at the bodies. But beyond that, do me a favor. Roll me the number of Pip Boys equal to your luck.
My regular luck.
Yes, you as if you were full strength.
Oh.
If you have a luck of a 4, roll 4 Pip Boys. Okay. You don't feel that itch between your shoulder blades that somebody's looking at you. So either the person that's out there has the patience of a saint, or they've skedaddled.
Yeah, so I will hand the scope rifle back to Saval. I am going to go over and investigate the area where I think they were. Because I want to, I don't know, like search the ground, see if I can find out anything about this person. This person is really annoying me.
Okay. So you head in that general direction. So, Sam, you see Miss Gray, crouch, run past you, heading in the general direction that you saw the cartridge, intensifying. And you can feel, your muscles are starting to, the lactic acid, is building up, so everything's starting to like burn from holding the same pose as long as you did. Jake just doesn't feel anything because he's that type of person. See her get to the area, or approximately where you.
I'm
saw the
going to
cartridge.
relax and start moving after Greg, keeping my head on a swivel.
So, do you let her know you're moving up?
Yeah.
Okay. So, everybody's kind of watching. The two people that are there. You guys are. Anybody tell Snake he can move?
No.
Okay.
I patched a rifle. What's the situation?
Searching the area. Please stand by.
Snake, you can feel a slight twinge in your arm just from the the being bent like it is. But other than that, you can do this all day.
Okay.
So,
I just imagine you're in a very goofy pose or something. Normally, it would look heroic, but because you've just been holding it so long, it's starting to look funny.
Miss Gray, make me a
It's like, how many times can Gray roll tonight?
make me an agility sneak and then a perception survival. Sam, same deal. Agility sneak, perception survival.
What could possibly go wrong?
Too late.
Too late. Okay. So, and then wait. I need the perception survival.
Oof.
Gray trips over the sniper.
I mean, you found him, and that's the case.
That's right.
Yeah, perception survival. Sam. Okay. So you both arrive at the approximate spot that you believe you saw everything. The terrain that you're looking at into the distance past this point, other than a few slight, dips, really nothing there. Hide behind. At the area that you're in, Sam, you more than Miss Gray make out 3 different things. One, there's a small stone wall, brick actually. I'm sorry, not stone. Sitting on the wall is a single .08 caliber cartridge. On the cartridge is emblazoned a spade.
A what?
A what?
A spade,
A shovel.
like from a deck of cards. The spade.
Oh,
From a
Spades
suit of cards.
Mhm.
Okay, so you see a spade emblazoned onto the cartridge itself.
you left a calling card.
Flipping it over, there's no discernible, marking on the bottom. Second thing that you notice, and then it's more because Miss Gray kind of, stepped through it, stumbled over it. There is a indentation that was dug into the ground. A sniper's blind, a place to to lie in wait. You can see that there's remnants.
Nope. I get the feeling that the Raiders were bait.
That's a very good assumption to make.
Yeah.
You can see that there's remnants of heavy cloth that was covered completely with dirt and sand. But short of stepping on this person, never would have known that they were there. The last thing that you make out, and again, more because of Miss Gray's slight stumbling, you can find a single boot print heading off directly south of the word Addyville on the map.
So heading like this way.
Due south. Boot print is small, so either young adult or possibly a female.
Girl power.
Add that to my notes.
Yep, got my fist in the air for you. Miss Gray, Sam was able to point this out to you. That you stumbled across, but you don't find anything else beyond that. Scanning the horizon into the into the distance, there's nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing, no movement. You don't see anybody moving across the ground. Whoever was here is long gone.
Oh, interesting. They wanted us to know they were here. They only shot Saval in the arm, so I don't get what their game is.
Neither do I. I'm going to pocket the shell.
Oh, good call with the symbol on it.
Yeah.
But we'll radio back to the group and let them know that for now the coast is clear if they want to go.
I'm going to add
Walk.
a message to that to say, Snake, please stand by. Or Eye Patch, please stand by.
I patched a rifle. Standing by. But are you almost done?
Green light.
We'll see.
You
I
begin heading back.
I just get the feeling that we're just going to walk by Snake, and Snake's going to ask if he can, if what's going on, and we're just going to say, stand by.
And then we walk away and leave them in the dust.
Exactly. But yeah, for the mysterious sniper, I've got their calling card and headed south of Annieville. Yeah, and
I don't get it. I don't know what they're doing.
yeah.
Could have hurt us if they wanted to, but they
Indeed.
didn't.
May have.
Happens for a reason. Yeah, we can grab a couple. Taking a break, folks. If you got them, you smoke them if you got them.
Don't smoke; it's bad for you.
Smoke.
Don't smoke. It's bad for you. Okay.
You mean you guys missed the cue here? Stand by.
Funny.
Yep.
Actually, the thing that scared me the most was when I grabbed the handle for the power washer, flipped it over, it actually still had water in it. I'm like, oh no, that water was still in there and it froze power washer handle. Fortunately, no problems, but I was like, oh man, that's not good.
No.
It's a really fancy power washer handle from like Germany or something.
Hmm.
This guy with the YouTube channel, he's very extra. I think he does custom car stuff of some kind. But sometimes he'll talk about like tools that he uses when they power wash cars. He's extremely OCD, but he only uses very nice things. So that's where Sniper found out about the fancy power wash handle.
Does it do anything? I'm sorry, forgive me, but does it do anything extra or special? Or?
No,
Is it
I
like
think
one of
the-
those? Is it like one of those super duper power washing handles from Power Washing Simulator?
no.
Ah,
I think it's all like stainless steel components on the inside, so it doesn't like corrode and rust and.
corrosion resistant.
It's all stainless steel with internal ball joints, so you don't have to rotate the handle with the hose when you move.
Unless you're willing to make something out of pure gold, corrosion proof is a fantasy.
I have brass and I have steel. Brass
That's good.
corrodes within like
You
stainless
keep
steel
cutting
hasn't been a
out.
problem.
The end of your sentences aren't coming through.
No, the brass corroded within a year. Stainless
Yeah.
steel is holding up pretty well.
Well, with brass at least, the corrosion performs that protective patina, so you got that at least, but it does seal pipe joints shut, which is not ideal.
How long have we had those stainless steel pieces?
I think we're on year 3 now.
Yeah, I mean, they look brand new.
Yeah, as long as you keep them clean and well maintained. Yeah, no, they won't show at their age. At least not for a while.
Are we almost ready?
Evolve. Okay,
Phoenix.
I'm ready.
everybody's here. Welcome back.
So, gather together. Everybody's, well, I should ask. Everybody gathering back together?
I guess. Someone
I-
has to tell Snake he can come over now, though.
I patched a rifle.
No.
What's the situation?
Stand by.
Goodness. Get over here. Sorry. Sports.
Yeah, so we'll head back to Sally Sue and Saval, and we'll go talk to this guy that popped out and was saying hello earlier.
Okay.
And I'll let Snake know he can stop standing by nothing.
Oh, I patched to forget your handle.
Boss.
I patched to boss, so I can move now.
Yeah.
Ah, wonderful. What'd you guys find out?
Come over here and we'll tell
Please
you.
stand by.
Yes.
I'm
I
listening to
throw a
boss now.
pencil. I throw a pencil at Sam.
Am I in range? For
Be-
Sally Sue to throw a pencil at me?
Yes, you're at range.
Ah, damn. Okay, so there's a blink as the pencil gets swung at my helmet.
Ding.
Oh. You all gather back together. You know it's two of the men from Mew 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 that you rescued. We came up as soon as we heard the gunfire stop. Yep, and he's looking and he sees Saval. He's like, "Oh, geez, are you okay, man? We really use your help down there."
Just blood flesh wound. I feel like you say that about every injury.
Okay. So you're able to. So we could use some of your medical assistance if you're
Yeah,
able to.
I'll ask him what happened. Is somebody hurt?
Yeah, we got a couple people that got shot by the
Raiders.
he's pointing at the bodies over there. He's about a half a dozen scream wings circling above, and probably an equal number down below.
We can probably help. While they're doing that at the same time, I'm going to also go see what I can loot for the bodies, particularly in weapons and ammo, because we kind of do want to provide these people with something that they can arm themselves with.
Okay.
Any
It might-
weapons and ammo that I find on them, unless it's something that I can use, I'm going to hand over to them, by the way.
Okay.
My assassin pistol that jammed. Does Sam need to look at it, or can I just clear it?
Nope, it's just a clear that you can do on your own.
Okay, yeah, I'll clear that too.
You clear that, and you're getting yourself you get yourself back up and running. Okay. So we'll do the looting first, and then we'll do the other stuff. So body armor. There's only 3 bodies to raid.
Right. The rest are burned to a crisp.
The other 2 are burned to a crisp. You get 2 sledgehammers. Damaged but salvageable heavy raider armor. Some sort of metal skull cap. Bad. You notice no symbols or iconography. No heraldry or anything like that on either one of these guys.
So small timers not affiliated with any gang. Got it.
Correct. They all had like urine yellow bandanas or like armbands. Sorry, armbands.
That's an attractive color.
Probably how they identified themselves, I'm guessing. I'm not going to touch that.
Sally Sue, make me roll me 6 Pip Boys, and Sam, roll me 2d20.
Hold on. Roll you 2d20.
Yep. I don't have the screen up. Let me go back to the game. So Sam, you get 29 caps among the 3 bodies. Sally, you get 6 additional caps too.
Woohoo!
The one rifleman that's still left alive, or that was still alive, that you guys killed and get incinerated, has a hunting rifle. It's chambered in 5.56. Finned barrel. And advanced receiver.
And any ammo?
Roll me 4d20. Take a 2d20, sorry. 2d20. Okay, so you find 15 5.56 rounds. You also find a serrated knife and a 45 revolver.
45 revolver?
45 revolver.
45 revolver. Any rounds for said revolver or
Roll 3 combat dice.
hold on. These are the special ones I can't roll from with a command. 3, you said?
3, yes. You find only 2 rounds.
Okay. Also, I'm going to hand this is stuff that we can hand off to the survivors. Especially the 5.56 hunting rifle, because I can provide a good bit of ammunition for that.
Yeah. So you make it down there.
Okay.
There's at least 1 dead male, 2 more that have been shot. So Saval, intelligence medical roll or medicine roll. Sorry. Okay. You're able to stitch them back up. Takes a little bit of work, and it's late into the evening before you finally get come out of surgery or whatnot. Both of them will make it probably a day or so before you can actually move them. So you'll be here for at least another at least a full 24 hours minimum, and you can make another roll then. The 2 girls come over to both of you. They're glad to see you, Miss Gray. They ask you, where'd you go? What'd you find? Who'd you see? The other women are following close by. They're willing to hand over the weapons that you gave them back if you ask for them. They do offer.
No, they clearly need to keep them.
Yeah, I think they can keep them. And I'll see if anybody says that they're a decent shot. I'll hand over the hunting rifle and ammo.
Okay. Yeah, one of the better one was the woman that you had given the weapons to earlier. But one of the men, accepts it, and after a little bit of familiarization, and 2 rounds, he manages to get the rifle sighted in that he can use himself.
Yes, you
So
point that end of the barrel down that away from. No, you point that end towards what you want to shoot.
okay,
Yes,
so
okay.
I'm not supposed to hold it this way. When he's holding, he's
No,
like,
no, this way, this way. Okay, good.
I understand. And a little bit of levity and everything like that, goes to break the tension.
Yeah, and I realize it's a lot of rounds, but I've got a lot of 5.56, so I hand him 45 rounds.
Okay, he accepts that, and starts to throw them away, here and there on him. He's got the rifle, ready to go, and he, you don't have to deduct any of your food or the canned food that you got. They've been scavenging since you guys left.
Right.
You're, like I described, you're in the middle, definitely in the middle of the grow season. So you're, there's
Everybody who's
plenty
really
of.
familiar with the region's going to be able to forage.
Yes, yeah. So, and the locals more than the Mew members are able to, so they've kind of got that bonding going on where it's two disparate groups, have now joined together to, the start of the community. Looking around. Go ahead. Yes.
Oh, can I ask them what happened, who these people were, when did they show up? Just get some information on this most recent attack, and if they've seen anybody else since last time we saw them.
The attack started yesterday. Going points to the one body that they're in the process of burying. Um, Jacques over there took a round to the head, went down. The rest of us scrambled cover, and it was just and he tries to describe it, and you can see he's broken up, and one of the other people takes him away, and the two women that were watching the kids step over. It's almost like they were just doing it for fun.
Yeah,
They had they had the range, they had the ability to shoot us. We didn't. The two guys two of us who tried to run out to close on them. Took the that's the ones Saval over there was working on. We got them back under cover, and once we got them under cover, they just kept plinking away, and just to keep our heads down.
interesting.
I'm definitely thinking that the Raiders were bait.
Or bait. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Yeah. No,
I wonder if my headset's starting to go. I hope not.
I don't get it.
Neither do I. Why us?
I'm sure it's Snake's fault in some way.
Probably.
But yeah, we'll talk to them. We'll visit with them. These are the folks that we are picking up. Are we taking them north with us to Glen Meadows? Or we're
I
taking
thought we
them
were
back?
taking them to Venetti.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're taking them back, right?
You're taking them back. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think the preppers are going to want them.
Well, are we taking them back now?
Why not?
Oh, I don't know. I was just wondering. Yeah, so we'll fill them in on
They'll be safer in Venetti, probably.
yeah, that we found Venetti and that first thing tomorrow morning we're gonna take them that direction. So everybody start packing, get prepared to travel tomorrow.
Oh, that sends a ripple through the group. They're very excited to be able to get going. So so yeah, they're very happy to learn that they're going to be heading out with you guys. It takes them a very short amount of time to gather up the additional food and everything that they have for the gameplay. You 2 weeks pass, managed to get them back intact. No losses or anything like that. You arrive back at Venetti, or Veni, and then head over to the annex. The Joe is there along with a couple of the Cyclops and the chief of security to meet you as you guys come up to the entrance. And you made it back in a decent amount of time. Very good, very good. Come on, let's get you all settled. Got a lot to to show you and bring you all in and get you all integrated into our group. The head of security is kind of scowling at the weapons and everything. Everybody's picked up something along the way, be it a board with a nail in it to the weapons that you brought in. He says something and you hear Joe say something. No, let him keep it. We can use it. They earned the right to keep those weapons. Come on, girls. Let me show you around. Joe's Robo Joe is very you know, a little pep in the step type of deal as he goes through and brings them inside. Um, this is where you guys part company. The the feeling is a little happiness, a little sadness. Given it all given all that you've gone through. I will deduct the food that's being carried between what they managed to bring along themselves and whatnot. You actually have a little bit of a windfall of 20 extra cans. That's why it's so.
That's what, an extra 4 days or something.
Well, no, 20 extra days
Oh,
of canned food. Sorry. So right now you guys have 5 days of the damage reduction food. Four days of temporary hit points. That gives you 3 bonus hit points.
wait. 5 of the damage reduction.
Yep, you get 5 of DR plus 2.
5 of DR plus. Okay, yep.
4 of the gives you 3 temporary hit points.
4 of those, okay.
1 that reduces all action points spent by 1.
Okay,
3 to give you a free reroll.
right.
1 reroll. And 5 that will completely heal you, but will not heal rad damage.
Okay.
And then 20 days of regular FUD.
20 days of FUD. Okay.
Fud.
That's not bad. Hold on. I've got 18 days of the supplies. If I'm reading the amounts you rattled off correctly. Not the canned food, the supplies.
9 and 9. Yep, 9 and 9 is 18. Yep, 18 days.
Okay. So we've got 36 days of food, good bit of water and Brahmin food. The Brahmin will be able to graze.
Yeah, Brahmin can graze. You don't even have to worry about them. Really, right now it's just finding finding water. It is hasn't rained in a while. Everything's kind of just growing on its own, or whatever's causing it to grow is growing on its own.
We have 30 days of water, and I'm assuming that the NX let us refill our water vessels.
Yeah, I'd say yeah.
Okay. In that case, we are well prepared, I think, to start heading towards the Meadows in Germantown.
Yeah, so I think we'll rest here for the night. We'll tell them that we all have to leave first thing in the morning.
Yeah, we'll stop by We'll be sure to stop by Germantown and see if we can find their supplies.
Okay.
Also, want to see if we can get some more gas mask filters.
Not from them. They're barely scraping. That they don't have any gas masks at all, and probably
Never mind then.
you have access to the workbenches. You can probably. And I don't. One thing I apologize. I didn't write down what it would cost you to. Let me see.
They can be repaired with science, intelligence, and repair perception, but that's about all I know.
If I can find.
Because I do recall that we've just barely been stringing those along.
Make me a intelligence science roll.
Int, you got it. Science int.
You can make replacement filters with some of the materials that you have. It will exhaust what you have available for that. The HEPA filters and the whatnot that you're going to cut down to put inside. It is you can replace everybody's filter. It'll be 10 rare.
10 rare. Hold on. Let me pull up inventory. 10 rare.
And 5 uncommon.
5 uncommon. Okay. I do think we should stop pulling from the rare crafting materials. We're getting kind of low on those.
That does exhaust any of the materials to make any more filters.
Yeah.
So your safest bet is Powder Monks. No, Glen Meadows would probably be your next. They may have alternatives, or be able to at least sell or trade stuff to you.
Got it.
Donnie may have stuff that you have access.
Right. So then, oh, that's done. Anything else before we head out, or?
On a positive note, completed this level of the quest. Everybody's luck refreshes back up to full,
Hooray!
Woot.
and your memento resets itself, so you can again use that at any point in time in the future. Give yourself once per quest, if you will. We'll be starting the next one. Let's see, I can cross that off my list too as quest complete. And flat XP of 400 for everybody
Oh,
Between the-
leveled up, right?
between the fight and everything
Yep.
else.
We're
I'll
at
wait for Sam to
nine-
tell me how many we have. Oh, sorry.
We're at 19066.
No, you're higher. Because you're not including the 250 from last session.
Oh,
Yeah, I did post that on the site. That was my fault
yeah,
for
you're
not telling
muted.
you.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
so-
what is it?
Hold on. It should be
19316.
correct.
Okay, cool.
Level 20.
Nice.
What's the max level?
Infinity.
Yes.
God.
It's whatever Phoenix
Yes.
decides is the max level, or the point where no more perks.
That
Oh,
doesn't sound
there's-
like any fun.
There's always perks.
Yeah. But yeah, so be thinking about be thinking about how you want to spend that shiny new perk point and that skill point.
And we are playing next week.
That is correct.
Yes. Game caps, by the chart I have, the game cap's at 21, but it gives you the ability to keep level until each new level, still grants you 1 health, 1 skill rank, and 1 perk. Obviously, ranks can't go past 6, so that will be that is a hard cap for that. But everybody, health goes up by 1, skill goes up by 1, and perk goes up by 1.
The highest attribute you have is 10, right?
Highest attribute is 10, yes. Modifications are from power armor, and there may be stuff out there, or quote that can take you past that point.
Implants.
Implants and and cybernetic replacements and all that fun stuff.
Yep.
So even with the tag skill, the highest skill rank is 6 still,
Still
right?
6, yes.
Okay.
Tag just gives you a jump start, if you will, on that particular. Heading back out. Dr. Abernathy does come to see you guys before you head out. He thanks you for increasing the calls it the knowledge base of the here at the annex. Getting a little stale, if you will. Yes, if you find any other like-minded individuals such as that, send them our way. People that you obviously vetted first.
I don't think the people of Glen Meadows are going to come down here. Because they are definitely the most like-minded. I don't think they would want anything to do with these people. I think they like their independence.
Yeah.
That's rude. You never know.
Yeah, but at the same time, their entire thing was independence and making sure they were ready for any situation.
Yes, but they're adults, so we can always let them make their own decisions.
Fair. We can always mention that, but I doubt they'll be interested.
So, but he thanks you all for getting everybody here. He is very he's grateful for that. If you manage to find again is key. He kind of leans into you, Miss Gray. He's like, got maybe one more season, 6 months. Sorry, they went in talking seasons. Yeah, maybe 6 months, at the most, where everything kind of fails. And as much as I'd like to say that making on the surface, I don't.
Do they need a new water chip?
I don't think we can. Yeah, I know a vault that has tons of them.
Are they going to ask us to fight a super mutant horde that is threatening the wasteland?
No.
Darn. I'm literally just rehashing the plot of Fallout 1.
Yeah, I feel like you're metagaming.
Warpy metagame? No.
I know. Because I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, we'll tell them that we'll do what we can to help.
I'm grateful. I do appreciate that. I truly do.
We'll see if we can find your supplies and figure out how to bring them down here.
Yep.
He steps back in. You can see hear the heavy thunk as the metal gates close and the elevator begins to drop back down, taking him underground. Find yourself free again to wander as you see fit. I know the goal now is to head from here to Glen Meadows, bypass you out.
The big one is bypassing Oakville. We ain't welcome there.
Oh, we can always go and say hi.
So technically, where Oakville is and where you're coming from is more towards the corner. So and you can head to New Memphis. Yep, where Sally Sue's just pulsed. So you can head to New Memphis Station, and then eventually cut across that way. You can stop at the farmstead if you wish.
Yeah, because that's just outside Oakville, not
that's
in
just-
Oakville proper.
correct.
See how they're doing. See if they've started building that curtain wall.
Then eventually head in that general direction. So you have options. So when we pick up next week, we will find ourselves, and let's see, if somebody else other than me, but I can't move it, wants to put a little dot in the corner, down here in the corner,
Sam.
we'll find ourselves there.
Fine. Ellipse. We'll make it a black outside with green insides and boop.
Yeah, just make sure you can move it. That's all I care.
There you
go. Traveling is steady. It's easy. I deducted 2 days worth of just regular canned food. That way, we don't have to worry about wearing a roll or anything like that. Spirits are good. Everybody is, healthy, happy.
All's recovered.
Yep, everybody's recovered. To the fullest extent. Nobody has any rat damage. Luck is filled. The areas that you're passing through are vibrant. Pass a field of, you realize that you shouldn't go into it, but you pass a field of semi-poisonous flowers. Looks nice. It'll kill you, but it looks nice.
Ooh, can I eat them?
Sure.
Sally Sue, why do you have a third arm? And why is your right eye starting to form an eye stalk?
No reason. Just look away.
Okay.
I feel much better now. I have a new map that has Mew 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 reduced to a crater, so I'll have to load that in. I've failed to do so.
Yeah, and I can always replace the dot where it
Yeah.
tells to do.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to bring tonight's session to a close unless, I'm sorry, questions, anything, any issues, anything that I need to be aware of, at least for when we get together next week?
Nope.
Okay. Ray, all good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, just making sure.
Unless you want to alter our mission to find that water chip again.
So while your weapon is fully reloaded, Snake, deduct a canister of fuel to recharge yours.
Yep.
Allie's already reloaded hers.
The
And
Grey
when-
Fixer Assassin's pistol?
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Yep.
I did.
Yeah, it was just a jam. It was just the
Okay.
round stovepipe. You just had to,
Clear
work
it out.
the action to drop it out.
Work the
Very
action, get a stick, poke it out.
Yeah,
The old-fashioned way.
for a little bit, and yeah.
Sounds good.
You all next week.
Line.
Stand by.
Right. This episode of As the Wasteland Burns is brought to you by Galaxy News Radio and our sponsors at Vault-Tec. Better living underground.
Now with butt plugs. Butt plugs.